Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the SLIAC All-Decade Team. Today, we'll be talking women's tennis with Terry Logue, who, as he mentioned earlier in the week, was a tennis coach himself. Terry, can you tell us, what do you remember about the 1990s women's tennis?
Well, just like with the men, Principia dominated women's tennis in the decade of the 90s, winning 7 championships. The only team to break through that streak was Westminster, picking up a couple of titles. Coach Lynn Delaney was the 2-time Coach of the Year at Prin, did a phenomenal job. And then there was Coach Jaime Vargas at Westminster, 2-time Coach of the Year. And, he did a phenomenal job and helped build both the men's and women's programs, build those up. And of course, the men, Westminster in the early 2000s were the premier team.
Certainly, that's for sure. As you look down this list of players from Principia and Westminster also, who are some of the players that kind of stand out to you as you look down that list?
Well, if Principia, you got to start with Katie Baird from Prin. She was a 3-time first-team all-conference at number 1, the number 1 flight. Kyla Crandall, she was the 3-time first-team all-conference at number 2. And, that list goes on and on. There was Tasha Sylvester, a 3-time all-conference performer. And then there are a number of Westminster players on the list. There's Amy Wagner. She was 3-time all-conference performer for the Blue Jays. Whitney Stewart, a 3-time first-team all-conference performer for the Blue Jays. And Alicia Pugh, she was a 3-time all-conference performer.
Terry, I'm going to pick your tennis coach's brain here for a second. So if you looked at this list, you look at today, Principia is still having success on the tennis courts, 21 SLIAC titles, which is a conference record in any sport. But the big thing for them has been their depth within their program. As a tennis coach, can you talk about what the importance of having that depth, as you can see on this all-decade list by all their names, how important it is to have that depth? Because you could have one great player, but if the rest of your lineup doesn't succeed, you're not going to get that team title. How important is that depth?
Well, it's even more important now because, now with the team format and you go in and you play, you got to win 5 matches. So like you said, if you got the best player, yeah, you might win that 1 point and possibly pick up one doubles point. But if you don't have depth up and down your lineup, you may not win down at the bottom. So it's even more important now to have depth. So, and you can look at some of these team results, and they don't finish 1, 2, or 3. The match is over by a team that has good players at 4, 5, and 6, and or a team that's really good in doubles. Mm-hmm. And I can remember a couple of times where, quite honestly, Westminster, we prided ourselves on our doubles ability, and
right.
We win matches with the doubles points.
That's right. Yep, those are 3 big points. That's
important.
It is. So, well, Terry, it was a joy talking to you about tennis today. Look forward to speaking with you once again.